Hello, this is Cody with Secure Agent Mentor and SecureAgentMentor.com. This video, we're going to go over prepping for an appointment. And when I mean prepping for an appointment out in the field, or an appointment in your office, or an appointment in McDonald's, or whatever it may be, an actual sales appointment with a prospect and potential client. We're going to go over what to take to an appointment, how to dress, when to arrive, just all the things about preparing for an appointment. And so we want to always carry, I actually carry a backpack. A lot of places, a lot of agents will carry briefcases or laptop bags. For some reason, I always liked carrying a backpack. I have a large backpack that has plenty of room. It's got my laptop. It's got all of my different applications for all my individual companies. And I always make sure I have at least, depending on how full my day is, I'm prepping before I leave. So I may have 3 apps for one company and 5 apps for others, just depending on how often I write those specific apps, the type of appointments I'm going to be running and what they may buy. But you always want to prepare for anything that a prospect could throw at you while you're there, because you may plan on selling life insurance and they actually have more of a need, more of an immediate need for help with their Medicare. And so you always want to be very prepared. We always want to think through actually preparing for an appointment. And so not only do we need some type of bag and some type of pad to actually write on when we're in the home, and I use a pad folio, and it's got a calculator, it's got a writing pad, it's got business cards, it's got magnets, it's got some underwriting guides, stuff like that. Anything I need while I'm sitting there in a house. It's also got fact finders in there. So you need to have, you also need to have a way to quote. Whether you quote on a computer or an iPad or an iPhone or just a rate sheet, if you're old school, doesn't matter, you can quote anyway, but you need to have a way to quote. So think about, how am I going to quote if they ask for this, or if they want this, or whatever they may need. You also want to have a fact finder with you. Fact finding is a very vital and crucial, important part of sales and succeeding in sales. So you always want to have a few fact finders with you. And again, our fact finder goes through their health, their legacy, their care, and their retirement income. And so we're using that fact finder to figure out what they need. And we'll dive into that a little more. So we want to have a bag, a pad, apps, we want to be able to quote, we want to have a fact finder. Well, what do you dress? Well, a lot of times I'll just wear what I have on, which is slacks and a dress shirt. Sometimes, depending on the appointment, I may wear a tie. Sometimes I may just wear slacks and a polo. You know, we have agents that are out in rural areas and they wear jeans and a polo. You know, so it doesn't really matter as much what you wear. Yes, you want to be professional, and sometimes it depends on the client you're seeing. But I generally try to always wear slacks at least, with dress shoes, a polo or a dress shirt, and so I at least always look professional, or I look like that I have a career and not just a job. And so you do want to dress. You do want to dress nice, depending on, and a lot of times how long you've been in the business can affect how you dress too. So I know when I first started, I always wore a tie. A lot of times I wore a suit. You know, well, I was 19 years old too. So you also want to think about, well, when should I arrive? Well, you always want to be early. You never want to be late. And I have a story for that. Back when I was a new agent, I had a pretty nice opportunity. It was a chance for a $300 a month life policy. I think it was $800 to $900 a quarter, I think is, obviously we talked about it in buying monthly, but that was something we looked into. And I remember we had a sales meeting. It ran a little late, and I got there about 5 minutes after our scheduled time. And there was a post-it note on the door, and the gentleman said, "You don't value my time enough by being late, so I don't have any time available for you." And so I thought, oh my. And so I've never been late to an appointment ever again, ever since that day. Because if it means the difference of me getting a chance to talk to someone, if 5 to 10 minutes makes a difference, I'm going to be on time, if not early. And so I generally am about 5 to 15 minutes early. It just shows that you're a professional and that you take your job seriously. And so I always make sure that I'm early so that I don't I'm always afraid there's going to be another post-it note on the door or someone ignoring me because I didn't value their time. So we've went through all the appointment prep from what to take, what to write on, what to wear, when to arrive, how to quote, make sure you can quote, make sure you have fact finders. And so that's kind of the way I think through an appointment. Another thing I typically do is if I have multiple appointments in one area, sometimes I will actually prepare for those appointments by map questing or using Google Maps and mapping out those stops so that I get through those appointments and in a good amount of time. I'm not getting lost, I'm not fumbling with directions, and so I know that I am going to be on time and I have a better chance of actually succeeding throughout the day. So anything you can think of to prep for an appointment, eventually it just becomes second nature and you don't have to think like this or overthink, if you will. But early on, you want to think, what do I need? When should I arrive? What should I dress? What should I take? And you want to think through the parts of an appointment and what you may need. So hopefully this helps. Again, this is Cody with Secure Agent Mentor and SecureAgentMentor.com. Thank you for watching. If I can ever do anything for you, please, please, please let me know. I'm here to help. And thanks again.